Hey, Coach. Good to speak to you. How's it going?
Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Phoning in from Syracuse Airport, so I'll be back in Chicago very shortly.
All right. What are you doing up in
I wanted
Syracuse?
university
Okay, I thought you were done by now. I thought you got the quick degree.
now. 1.5 years. We're almost there.
Yeah.
But look, we've got a big game this weekend. It's Columbus Crew. It's you against Wilfred Nancy. You're going back to Columbus. Just emotionally, what's your expectations going into what is such a big game? And I think a lot of people are going to be watching.
Yeah, it's basically two teams against each other. That's the storyline. All the other stuff, doesn't matter. It's just it's a game of soccer, and it's two teams starting their season, and we want to go there and compete. We've been doing a good job. Got a lot of respect for Columbus. Been watching them. I think Wilfred's been doing a fantastic job with the group for the last 3 years. And but for us, it's going to show what we can do as well.
And for you going back to Columbus, I know I was there for the game against Costa Rica, where the crowd received you very well in World Cup qualifying. What kind of a reception are you expecting from the Crew fans this time?
I have a great relationship with the Crew fans. It was an amazing 5 years of my life and my career, and I still talk to a lot of people from Columbus to this day. So it is, it's difficult to say this, but it is, a club that I care a lot for, and it's going to be obviously different than going back with the national team. Now I'm a competitor of the Crew, and I'm sure they want to win the game. So. Still going to enjoy the experience, and for our team, again, the most important thing is to continue to build on what we've been working on.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Next, we'll go to Joe Schatz.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Greg. Thank you for the time as always. Greg, curious, just on the field, what are you expecting from more of a new look Columbus Crew side? Obviously, some big changes in their attack this offseason, but it's the Columbus Crew. You always have to have high expectations for them. So I'm curious what you've seen preparing for the weekend.
Very dynamic attacking team. Was able to see all their games so far, and it's a good team. You can see that it's the result of work that's been done over multiple years. It's not a team that's just been put together this season. So they have, good cohesion, dynamic attacking, very good variation in their attack with different players in different positions. And overall impressed with them. I think Columbus is going to be one of the teams that's there at the end of the season. It's a very strong team. They lost Cucho and Christian Ramirez, but what they've been able to do is plug in other players that give it a different dimension. And they're vertical when they need to be. They're controlling when they need to be. Overall a solid team.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Tim Hotsey.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, Tim.
So we've had the chance to talk to a number of players in preseason, and there's some similar principles to how they've described what you expect of the team to what Wilfred Nancy expects of his in terms of being a possession-based team, in terms of trying to control the game with the ball. How does that present a challenge, for you? Because as you noted, like they've been playing that system for a couple of years, and you're just coming into it over basically this preseason. So how does that change the game that you want to play? How does that present challenges tactically?
Yeah, something's got to give, right? And Columbus, I think, led the league in possession last year, and also a huge amount of chances created. That didn't lead the league, but a lot of chances created. So. And for us, we have to value the moments when we have the ball. We have to be difficult to break down. We have to be dynamic, both offensively and defensively. But it's a great challenge for this group. For us, we're not shying away from it at all. We realize that it's the first game, and that it's a great challenge right from the onset, and we'll be up for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jim Alexander from Real Talker.
Hey, Coach. Good to talk to you
Hey,
multiple
Jim.
times a week. Coach, obviously you're gearing up for this first game, but it's been a while since you prepared for, in a sense, an MLS game. You've been preparing for the past decade for international games. Did it feel a little bit different, sort of entering this game and sort of the preparation back into the MLS league versus what you've done, or you kind of do a same, I don't know if you have like a same system that sort of translates. If you could just speak on sort of the first prep for being back in MLS.
You know, the opening game of the season is always interesting. We're going off a lot of footage from preseason, so you know, it's not, you know, an exact science. I think as you get more of the footage throughout the season, you get a better read on the teams. So there is a little bit of unknown, but you know, it's back doing what we do. We analyze, we prepare, we game plan, and then we repeat. You know, and that's how it goes. You know, in international soccer and club soccer. But it's certainly exciting to be back. The league is a different league than when I was in it last time. You know, 30 teams. Best player in the world, you know, great coaching in this league, and I think it's, you know, some great teams. So overall, I think it's going to be a great challenge for our group as we navigate through this year.
All right, go get them Saturday. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And next we'll go to Jose Gudinho.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time.
Hey,
Coach,
Jose.
real quick, what difference do you see in the league compared to the last time you coached in the MLS with 7 years ago?
You know, Messi wasn't in the league. That's the first difference. You know, the best player in the world. So that's right off the bat. There's 6 more teams now. The facilities have improved when you think of all the new stadiums in the league, Columbus being one of them. And overall, I think what you see now is, I know certainly for our team is, you know, there's a lot younger players in the league now. You know, we've been playing in preseason 16-year-olds. So the age is getting lower and lower. The quality in the top end is getting higher and higher. So it's a competitive league. You know, one thing I've noticed right now is there's been this, I think, move to build up with 3 in the back, 3 and 2, and build up. You know, a number of teams are doing it. Last time when I was in the league, it wasn't so common. So I think that's a trend that you're seeing throughout the league that, you know, that is permeating through a number of teams.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Paul Banks.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Good to talk to you again this week.
Hey, Paul.
If we could look ahead a little bit, as you mentioned it a couple times already, the third home game, like you said, the best player in the world. I mean, you must feel excited about the challenge to get to prep to go against them. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, I got to be honest, Paul, I haven't even thought of that yet. You know, the focus is purely on Columbus. And, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know, we know that we have a lot of territory, a lot of games to play before that, and you know, we'll get to it. But what I'd say is, you saw them yesterday in the Champions League, and you know, still a dynamic team. Still have 2 really high quality players up front with Suarez and Messi, and then the rest of the group is geared to play for them and help them be successful in games. And you know, so it's going to present a nice challenge for us, and you know, when we get there, we'll surely enjoy it.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Jess.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Next we'll go to Hernan Espinoza.
Hey, Coach, La Fiera Deportiva. Any updates on the injury report, or everyone is available for this Saturday? And my other question is, how long do you think it takes to wake up the sleeping giant? That you already have all the pieces together, all the plays that you need so far? Thank you.
Yeah, you know, we're working on building that, and it will take some time, but I think in the meantime we want to be competing. You know, you know, I would do the team a disservice if I said that, you know, this is just a work in progress. You know, we're a team that wants to compete from day one, and although we have a lot of injuries right now, you know, in preseason was very difficult for us in terms of injuries. You know, we'll still be able to put together a team on the field that will compete, and that's our jobs. And you know, we know what's at stake here, and we're excited about it. So again, we want to be a team that it goes on the field and plays a certain way and competes from day one.
Awesome. Thanks, Hernan. We'll do our final 2 questions for this afternoon to Joe Schatz and then back to Alex Calabrese.
Sorry about that. Greg, we had Sam Rogers on beforehand, and I'm curious. I know when he initially signed, he kind of fits a profile of what you wanted in a center back, but I'm curious kind of what you've seen from him from afar the last few years and what you've seen from him now that he's with the club that made you want to have him on your squad.
I think first of all, he's a great kid, really open to learning, really competitive. You can see he's played at a good level and really made big steps in his career from when he's left to now. And we want to continue to help him develop. We think he can play a role with us this year, and we're excited about what he can do for the club.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Alex, we'll go to you.
Thanks. Yeah, just one more question for me. One of the players who impressed me the most in preseason, starting most of the games, was Sergio Orahel. I know that this is someone who's been rated really highly by the club for a long time. Now that he's in a position to start this weekend, what can you say about his preseason?
I agree with you, Alex. I think he did a really good job, and for us, it's continuing to challenge him on his limits, because we think he's a really high potential player, and it's really about putting him in positions to compete each and every day. Him understanding the need to be 100% fit, 100% focused on each and every play. But he is in our opinion, a difference maker, and I think he's had a great preseason.